now I'm going to create my leaves with a new layer, like so. I'm going to put that layer under the flower. I'm going to zoom into the stem just a bit. So I'm going to click one point. I'm going to click my second. I'm going to rotate that a bit. And click my bottom point, just like that. I'm going to take my pen tool, I'm going to hold down that button and go to Convert Point Tool. I'm going to select this point here and let's see what happens. Okay, what it does is it takes that curved point, which had the dumbbells on it, or the barbells, and it took it to a point. Now, what you see here is the barbells are now gone, except for this one down here at the bottom. We now have a flat side to our leaf. That is because the first point that we made, we did not add barbells. We didn't click and drag, we just clicked. We moved to the next point, we clicked and drug to extend those barbells. Since we've used the point tool, those barbells are now gone. Okay, so now we have basically one half of leaf. So I'm going to drag that down like so. Now what I'm going to do is create the other half. I'm going to take my pen tool. I'm going to mirror that shape we just made. I'm going to come down here to the inside of the leaf. And now what I'm going to do is create little points on our leaf to show the veins. I'm clicking and dragging, and then I'll click straight across, no drag. Clicking and dragging. And you can see the longer I make these barbells, the more distorted the next point is. Okay? And I'm going to finish by clicking on the first point that we made, just like that. Okay, now we have, kind of looks like a leaf, but it's a bit funky, so I'm going to go back to my little selection tool here. I'm going to select some of these points, and you can see how long this barbell is. I'm going to zoom out, and what I'm going to do is just take one end of it. I'm going to try and keep the angle that it's at, but I'm going to pull that in just like so. I'm going to zoom in again. Let's center in on our leaf, just like that. Take my selection tool, and I'm going to adjust. I'm going to pull these in. These look okay. What I need to do on this point here is pull that point to line up with the center vein of the leaf, and I'm going to pull this barbell end in, just like that. Okay, do the same thing over here. Pull that barbell in to line that up. Let's pull it down. They're on in the same line, like so. A couple more, pull this in. Okay, let us zoom out. I'm going to select both leaves together, and I'm going to move them over just like that, and I'm going to rotate them together. Now what I'm going to do is group these together. Okay, now my leaf is on one layer, and I can still take either side of the leaf and change the color, which is actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my magic wand, and I'm going to select the side with the veins showing up, just like that. Okay, I'm going to go to my foreground and background colors, and I'm going to switch them. Okay, with this little arrow here, I'm going to select on the white. I'm going to take my color picker, choose the color we already have, which now shows up here, and I'm going to darken it just a bit, like so. I'm going to do an edit fill. Yes. No. I'm going to darken it, add a little more gray to that, hit OK. I'm going to do an edit fill. Foreground color. Okay, let's deselect. And there we have the top of our leaf. Great, now that we have one leaf done, all we have to do is duplicate this layer, hit OK, and let's do a transform. Just like so. What I want to do is move this one up and make it a bit smaller. Just like that. And enter. And there we have our two leaves. We could probably make this first leaf a bit smaller too, just so that it's the focus of the flower is actually the flower head and not the leaves. There we go, perfect. I think I'll create a center to our flower. Let's take our elliptical marquee tool. Let's first move to the top here and create a new layer. Just like that. Let's hold down the Shift key and drag. That'll make a perfect circle. Let's take our darker color, do an edit fill. Okay. And now let's go to select, and I like using this tool because it's super easy. Let's do a contract by, let's do 15 pixels and hit OK. Okay, you can see that shrunk the whole thing. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm going to move it so it's just off center with my arrow tools, just like that. So let's move to the bottom. And I'm going to deselect, and there we have our first flower. And what I'm going to do is take these, let's find our leaf shapes. Okay, that's all there. I'm going to take all these shapes together, including our Smart Object layer, which is shape 1, and I'm going to link those. So we have our one flower. Now, of course, we can name these. Let's name this Smart Flower 1, Center 1, Leaf 1, Leaf 2, and Stem 1. Just like so. Okay, so now we have all those linked together and named. Great.